how's it going? It's Jamie, the crafty DIY guy, and I am back. I have got a collaboration today with Arteza that I'm super excited about. If you are familiar with a paint method called an acrylic pour, Arteza is selling pouring acrylic paints that are fantastic. And I'm telling you, if you have no creative ability at all, you can paint with these products. These are foolproof. They are so easy, so fun. In fact, I was able to also get my friend Kelly, who had never done any kind of artwork before, with an acrylic pouring medium. And we had so much fun. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my art project that I worked on with Arteza. And then I'm gonna show you some of her art projects, including things like a rock. So yeah, you can really do this on any kind of medium, which is really cool. I did mine on wood. She did hers on a couple different things. So you'll have to watch that and see. If you are one of my long-term subscribers, thank you, of course, so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And am super happy and excited to bring you guys opportunities like this with Arteza. There are affiliate links below that you can look at, that you can buy some of these materials if you end up liking them a lot. If you're brand new to the channel and you're not quite OG status yet, that's what I call my long-term subscribers, my long-term friends. Don't worry, you'll get there, I promise. If YouTube recommended this video to you, hopefully you'll subscribe and stick around, and I'll try and bring you more DIY projects. I like to do Dollar Tree DIYs. I like to do thrift flips. I like to do collaborations like this. I have my first house that I bought about 2 years ago, so I do little mini home renovations. And I'm a big guy and I like to dress, so sometimes I'll do some big and tall clothing hauls and some shopping hauls, and we just have a good time. So hopefully you'll stick around and hang out with us. All right, enough chat. Let's get into the video. All right, everyone, for our project from Arteza, we are going to be doing an acrylic pour. Now, if you are not familiar with the technique of acrylic pour, it is literally pouring acrylic paint onto a canvas or onto a surface. Now, what makes the Arteza brand of pouring paint so unique is that the additive that you need to typically do an acrylic pour is already inside of all of these bottles. So in this 32-piece set of paints, you are going to literally get everything that you need already mixed for you. And the greatest thing about this is it is all non-toxic, so it's perfectly safe. Check out this gorgeous color assortment. You have got literally every color under the rainbow in this 32-piece set, and there's even some metallic colors in here too. I love this. Now for the canvas, I'm actually going to be using these 10 by 10 wood canvases from Arteza. Now what I love about this is, first of all, they're solid wood, it's unfinished, and it's actually a 5-pack. So I'm only going to be using 4 for this particular project, and for that 5th canvas, you'll see we're going to do a special project. So I thought it would be really cool to do a art installation, if you will, in my living room that represented the 4 seasons. So I want to do each canvas in a season. So I'm going to have a winter, a spring, a summer, and a fall. And I think you can tell by the colors that I picked which one is going to be which season. So for the first 2 canvases, I'm doing this technique. I think this is what they call a dirty pour. And you literally take a solo cup, and as you can see, I'm just squeezing my paint colors directly into that solo cup. And there is really nothing else to it. You are not mixing this together. You are not doing anything other than letting those paints just kind of be in that solo cup. And you add as little or as much color if you want. So if you really like blue, then you should put some more blue in there. If you really like yellow, or you want just hints of yellow, do that. Then you're going to take your canvas, you're going to flip it upside down on your solo cup like so. And then you're going to put that canvas directly down flat. Zhuzh that around a little bit, lift that cup up, and let whatever drips out, drip out. And then you're going to pick up that canvas, this is the fun part, and you are just going to start rocking this thing back and forth, kind of like so. Now, again, what I'm doing is just allowing the paint to dictate where it's going to go. You can see all of those gorgeous colors. Nothing is mixing together. Everything is staying separate with all those colors. You can add more colors if you want. If you decide that maybe it's a little too green and you want to add more blue, you can. If you didn't pour enough paint in there, you can add more. This is really foolproof, y'all. And so now I'm just kind of zigzagging paint all over. The idea is to cover the top of the canvas completely. And then once you have that top covered completely, then you're going to let the paint drip down along the sides. It does get a little messy, but this paint cleans up even easier. I'm telling you, this is such a fun project, and you could easily put on a pair of rubber gloves if you wanted to. Now, see all those wood pieces that are still kind of showing on the sides of the canvas? Again, I'm just manipulating that canvas around, and then I can literally pick the paint up with my fingertip right from the drop cloth or from whatever you've got below you, and pick it up and just blend it. I'm doing this in kind of a fast forward motion on the camera. And then again, taking what's left over in the cup and just dabbing it and blending it and adding it on the edge. You can't mess this up. I'm telling you guys, you cannot mess this up at all. Now, for the first two canvases I did this technique. So this is what it looks like. We're going to set that aside and we're going to let this dry. I let mine dry overnight before I touched them. So for the next one, I thought it would be cool to take all of the colors that I was going to be using for this particular one. And instead of doing that pour, I'm just going to stripe them on the canvas. I'm doing this directly on the canvas. Now, keep in mind, when I say canvas, you can literally do this on anything. You can do it on a regular fabric canvas. You could do it on a rock. Yes, you really can. You could do it on a wood piece. You could do it on a wood canvas. You can do this on anything. So I am literally taking those acrylic pouring paints and just striping that canvas, just like you see right here. And once I get everything completely striped, I am going to go back through and I'm going to add some white in between each one of those. And I'm not even going to cover the canvas completely. I think I'm only doing about half of it here, maybe 3/4 of it. And then you start the tilting and look again how cool this is. Again, those colors aren't mixing. You can clearly see the yellow. You can see the whites. You can see the reds. You can see the purples. You can see the lime green. You can see the gold. You can see everything. And then again, see this little area here that's not filling in? I'm just going to squirt some paint right on there, and it's going to be perfectly fine. And then again, if I see another area that I think needs a little bit more color, I can squirt the paint directly on here. And then once again, after I've manipulated it enough and it's dripped down the sides, I'm going to start blending it. But like the previous one, I just took my finger and literally just kind of rubbed everything all together. With this one, I'm actually just going to tap my finger and kind of blend those colors a little bit more organically, I guess we'll say, and just kind of fill in between and just kind of blend in between and maybe add a little bit more color here and there. And we're just going to do that only in the spaces that we need coverage. And then that's what this one looks like. Now for the last one, this is the fourth one, because remember the first two I did the same technique for those, that dirty pour. We're doing a double dirty pour here. So I am adding my colors into 2 different cups, and each cup has different colors in them. There are no colors that are the same in both cups. So hopefully that makes sense. And I think I added probably 9 to 10 different colors in here. And again, what we're going to do is, instead of doing the upside down flip technique, what I'm going to do is that one, I'm going to kind of zhuzh the paint up a little bit, but this one, I am going to do the upside down pour, but I'm only going to do it on half of the canvas. And we're going to make sure that I kind of keep this color on this side of the canvas. So when I start to tilt it, I'm going to move it around a little bit back and forth, but then I'm going to make sure that it starts to drip off to that one side. I absolutely love the way this color canvas is looking. This color combination to me is amazing. I love the purples and the blues. I think everything looks So cool. And then again, just taking my finger and dipping on the edges there of any of those drips. You can use that to fill in on the sides. You can also add some more. Now, this is that other cup. These have more of the green and the gold tones. Now, you can see here, I didn't really pour quite enough paint in there, but it's not going to matter because, again, the way that this paint drips, look how easily it covered that canvas. Again, I freaking love this. This is definitely a super contemporary look. You can see those little areas I'm pointing out that aren't covered up yet with paint. You can literally just kind of jiggle the canvas around, or you can dip your finger in there and just kind of finger paint. And then on those edges, I'm going to make sure that I have everything covered in and filled in nicely. Now, these are my 4 finished canvases. I think you can figure out which season each one of these canvases represent. I love the way that these turned out. One tip I will give you, do not let them sit on a flat piece of cardboard like you see here. It's actually really, really important that you elevate these. You could literally put a canned good underneath them like a soup can and just get them up off of that cardboard. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem with them sticking to the cardboard. If you choose not to use any rubber gloves like I did, then you can expect to have some dirty hands. I literally just started rinsing my hands in my sink. Most of the paint came off immediately. Then I grabbed some pink soap and just scrubbed a little bit with some hot water, and everything came out nice and clean. It was almost as if I wasn't even outside painting anything. And so I'm with my friend Kelly, and she has never done an acrylic pour before. So we're going to use the paints from Arteza that they sent me, and I'm going to teach her how to do her very first acrylic pour with their wood canvas. So this will be a fun part of the video. Now, I told Kelly that she could pick out any colors she wanted out of that 32-piece set to personalize her own canvas, and she picked out some great ones. All right, Kelly, now I want you to literally pick up your first color of paint and just squeeze as much of that color into that cup as you want.
Seriously?
Yep, just squeeze it in there. Keep squeezing. And then if you're happy with that amount of blue, you can put that one aside and grab the next color and just squeeze it right on top. After Kelly put all of her colors into the solo cup, it was time to start the actual acrylic pour. This part was so much fun. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to take your canvas, pick it up.
Like this?
Okay. Yep. And then put it upside down on your cup. So like this.
Really? No way.
Pick up the cup and the canvas at the same time. Flip it upside down, keeping the cup in touch with the canvas, okay? So go for it. On top of the wood. Put it down.
Okay.
Keep the cup on it.
Okay.
All right, so keep the cup on it just for a few minutes. Now, slowly do the cup like this.
Really?
Yep.
Like still
just
in contact?
Keep it still in contact, yep.
Okay.
Swirl it just a little bit to the middle and then pick it up. Start swirling it around. Give it a little bit lower for me. Yep. And keep swirling it to the edges and try to cover as much as you would here before it starts to go over to the edges. Okay. Look how cool that is already.
This is amazing.
Now for your edges that have not been covered, what you're going to do is take your finger and just dab in here and then just blend on the edges here.
Oh, this part.
So, yep.
Okay. Like that. Okay.
Yep. And then do it completely covering anywhere where you're seeing exposed wood.
Okay.
And you can smear it like that, or you can dab it with your finger. Your technique you want is really cool.
This is beautiful.
It's cool because you can do a lot of different things with it.
I'm trying to catch the brighter colors that fell. I've always seen these pieces of art, and it seems so complicated.
You're almost done.
Look! Holy cow! I've always thought this was like something really complicated.
Pretty easy with Arteza, right?
Copper? Holy cow!
Now, just put it here on top of this cardboard box. There's the little Maggie. Just put it here on this cardboard box and just set it there. And we're going to let it dry for 24 hours. And throughout the 24 hours, those colors and those cells and everything in there are going to develop, and it's going to be incredible. So what do you think about Arteza's paint?
This is so fun. I had some paint left over and I couldn't waste it. So I went and found an old magnet that I didn't care for, and I made this.
Nice.
And then I got an old
small
canvas that had, it's also a magnet, but canvas that I didn't necessarily care for. And I had a little bit more, and so I did a rock.
And she did that cool rock.
It's so fun. I love it. Love it, love it. I'm going to do it again.
While Kelly's pieces are drying, I thought I would show off mine. This is my Four Seasons art installation in my living room that I was telling you about. I love this so much. I think it's pretty easy to look at this and tell which canvas represents each season. And what's really cool about this is that I made it myself with Arteza. And if you're curious on how Kelly's pieces turned out, these are her final 4. I absolutely love the way her canvas turned out. I love those dark navy and purple and gray tones. And then, of course, her 2 smaller canvases and her pet rock, as I affectionately call it. I think all of these turned out really, really great.